ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin single mothers ẹ bọ́ síbi mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ìdí ẹ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ Yorùbá mi ìfẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn òyìnbó kan gbọ́ gbogbo àṣírí yín especially ẹ̀yin single mothers tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀ ń gbowó bàbá ìjọba máa fún yín lówó pé kẹ́ máa fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín àwọn ọmọ tẹ̀ ń bí kákàkiri you understand me tó jẹ́ pé ìyá kan bàbá mẹ́wàá ni yín àwọn ọmọ yẹn ń sìn owó tó ń fún yín pé kẹ́ máa fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín ẹ máa fi ṣe oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò ẹja tútù ẹ máa fi ṣe de ọkọlọ́kọ tó ń bọ̀ á máa bá yín sùn mọ́lé ilé tí ìjọba tún fún yín pé kẹ́ máa ti tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín ẹ yára yín ní brain owó tí ìjọba ń fún yín pé kẹ́ fi tọ́jú ara yín kẹ́ fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín ẹ máa fi ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ rírò ẹ máa fi ṣe ẹja tútù máa di ọkọlọ́kọ nítorí ọkọ púpọ̀ nù yín ẹ ti gbàgbé nǹkan tó gbé yín wá sílùú òyìnbó tó jẹ́ pé tátátátá kótókótó yẹn lẹ́ ń bá kiri London you understand me mo láti sọ Yorùbá kí n fi fún yín ní àwọn ìmọ̀ràn kẹ́ yára yín ní brain ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin single mother.
All right. So let me. Do you understand Yoruba? Okay, make I translate. Make I translate. Oh more these people, man. The social media is a gift. All right. So interpretation. She called on all single mothers and tried to advise them. Shout out to Instablog Niger. Advise them that the money given to them by the British government are usually diverted to something else instead of them to use it to take care of their kids, which is not right. She further said that most of the money are spent on cooking vegetable soup Efo Riro for someone else's husband. At the end of the clip, she tried to tell them to be cautious and stop their acts. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's break it down. What are your thoughts?
You see, well, one time we were discussing about this. Some ladies were bragging and boasting that man not fit chop my money, man not fit chop my money. I kept quiet. They were talking and talking and talking. Mm-hmm. They said, for what now? For what now? I kept quiet. When they all finished, and I said, you know what? I said, when you talk like this, it shows that you are the one that is doing it the most. They said, no. I said, look, people that do things for real don't talk. Mm-hmm. I said, look, okay, what is it? First of all, I ask, and when I want to discuss something, I'll ask, what is the meaning of that thing to you? Because people don't, the meaning of things differ from
from people to
people.
Mm-hmm.
I say, when you say spend money on man, what do you mean? He say, you come borrow money and you give man. I said, okay, that's the own meaning of spending money on man. No? Right. I said, do you know that when a man comes to your house and drink, even if it's malt or water, whatever, you are spending money?
Yes, no.
He said, no. I said, okay, is he the one that bought the water or the drink? He said, but can just give him anything when he comes to you. I said, that is it. He comes to your house, you give him something, you are spending money. Spending this money is in different levels. Some have enough to give them as borrow or buy car or buy house. Why you have your own little one that you have for food and maybe whatever it is you bought that is small. Mm-hmm. I said, look, spending or no spending, the thing is just, let's pray not to meet an unfortunate person.
Right,
if you meet an unfortunate person, that's when you regret anything you do. But if you don't meet an unfortunate person, you won't regret anything you are doing. For these women, I understand. There's one thing me to have. I'm a woman that observe something abroad, especially with single mothers. And single mothers have been the ones that were really married before, not even like single mothers, like girlfriend that had children. No. The ones that were really, really married before.
They were married, they're divorcees.
Yeah. Some of them are not even divorced. Some are just separated. Some their husband some of them, their husband naturally sent them abroad for them to give their children better life. To say, you go abroad and I will stay back home. Right. A lot of them, I don't know. But I know that what I have figured out is that, our Kerewa life in Nigeria is very poor. Let's be honest. It's very poor. Some of them will come here. For those that have anything to do with outside people, apart from our people, is the kind of Kerewa they get from those people that get them carried away. Because the kind of Kerewa they get from those people is what we don't really take as normal.
Are you saying they were stigmatized?
Yes.
Yes. They were stigmatized, eh?
Not just you know what I mean, some kind of Kerewa that our people never did. Our
Hey.
people will say it's an abomination if I do it. Those are the ones those other people from other places do to them that they get carried away. Then our people now found out, our own men now
When
found
you're
out
saying
that,
our people, you're not talking about Yoruba guys, yeah? You're talking about people from
talking
Calabar.
about Niger
All of us.
generally. Yes, I'm talking about Niger generally. So
Okay.
our people now found out that was the way all these women got hooked with those guys. And to be honest, most of our men, they like those ones that have had children before because they don't want kids.
Right.
Because they don't want kids, they just want to have somebody that they are
also a lot of men believe that women know they like Kerewa anyway. What's in there? Not food.
Okay. This is an issue. So they too now learned that skill that the other people are doing to our people, to our women, and they are doing it. So for our people that are dating our people here abroad, those ones can do the Kerewa that their husband back home couldn't do. Even some of them, their husbands.
So let me see if I'm getting this correct. You're saying women are more. It sounds like you're saying they're much more comfortable with people outside of what they married to try new things.
No.
Okay.
You play something now about the lady was saying the money they give to their children.
Right.
They use it to cook for men.
To cook Efo Riro and Eja Tutu for
men.
Other people's men. Precisely other people's men. She was very precise.
Them, all join men or whether other people, whether single men.
No, she was very precise. So this is very important. This is a very important part of the story. She was very precise.
Okay.
Let me play up. I need you to hear it. Wait.
That's what I'm telling you now that they do it because of their carried away.
So they get carried away by other people's husband. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because those ones give them even more attention than their own that they have at home.
Okay, so the attention they're getting from these complete strangers, they are drunk off of it. So they use the money that they are getting from the UK government, British government,
everywhere.
To feed.
It's not only UK, everywhere.
And this is today for UK. Let's drag UK people a little bit now. Let's make UK people collect small now.
Okay,
they use British government money to feed these men, right? So you're saying it's because of they're drunk off of attention from this strangers, basically.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of truth to that because people generally this is something that every one of us have to be careful with, right? Complacency, see finish, enter every relationship. It's just what it is. You tend to appreciate things on the other side. This is every human being. The grass is greener on the other side. Syndrome.
Exactly. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, that's all of
greener.
us. Yes, you always think it's greener. So it takes you being intentional and being aware and being wise to say, hey, that's just me being human being. Let me nurture. Let me water this grass here, right? So that's a good point that you made. You know, now there's something else this auntie is trying to tell us. You know, she's mixing what she's trying to tell us into something else. I'm not sure if anybody in the comments heard her properly. You know, but let me just play the video again. I'll stop at every junction. Maybe that can help because it's a fairly, let me see, it's a 1 minute video. It's not long, right? So let's get into it.
Single mothers, possibly
So what she said is, please let me translate. So sometimes when you translate, meanings get lost in translation, right?
Yeah, I know.
So she said, you single mothers, I beg, come here, make a nyana, right?
So you buy me
She said, I don't want all of the Oyibo people to know your secrets. So make I speak Yoruba.
Especially ẹ̀yin single mothers tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀ ń gbowó bàbá.
Hey, she made a point here. She used a word, a key word. She said especially. That means she's trying to talk to you. Single mothers.
Mhm.
The ones that you are collecting government money.
Ìjọba máa fún yín lówó.
Benefit, welfare. Right. See, our problem is different from our American friends. Them, they say women, they collect money, kick man out. That's their own problem. You know, this lady here is saying women collect money, they feed man. But not their own husband. Basically, other people's husbands, particularly.
Where they help them too now.
You say what?
Where they help the women too.
Let's see.
Owó bàbá. Ìjọba máa fún yín lówó pé kẹ́ máa fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín.
The government will give you money to feed your children.
Àwọn ọmọ tẹ̀ ń bí kákàkiri.
Oh, the children that you are having all over the place. Listen, this woman is trying to speak to somebody. I think it's one person. Hey.
No, not one person. All our women. Huh?
No.
Have you not seen four children, four fathers, five children, five fathers?
No, okay, I need to break this down. You're right, but here's what I'm trying to say. This woman has a certain type of experience. She's trying to speak to this one person. There's this one person in this woman's life. Yes, there are many, many people like that person. You're right. But this woman is talking to somebody. Okay, so this person has multiple children all over the place. Okay, this person, they collect welfare. Okay, not from US. See, I told you earlier, from UK, from British people. She's okay. Oh, Baba.
You understand me? Tó jẹ́ pé ìyá kan bàbá mẹ́wàá ni yín.
She said that. Let me translate this properly.
Four fathers, five fathers.
Yeah, some of it is one mother, Baba Mewa, 10 fathers. Okay, baby fathers all over the place, essentially.
Àwọn ọmọ yẹn ń sìn owó tó ń fún yín pé kẹ́ máa fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín ẹ máa fi ṣe oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò.
All right. She said, this money they gave you to feed your children, you will use it to cook orishirishi. I cannot translate orishirishi to English. I'm sorry. It doesn't carry the same meaning.
It's assorted.
No, it's not the same. No, that's direct translation. Orishirishi, in this context.
Assorted soup.
I know now. That's direct translation. The Yoruba is not the same thing as English. So maybe somebody, it's not the same thing. This is literally orishirishi.
Stuff.
Men.
Stuff.
Yeah, I saw orishirishi ẹran. You're right. You'll be right. Orishirishi ẹran in an obe. If I'm eating food, right? Like go to African store, right? You'll be correct, right? But she said, mama fi. Let me repeat. When you say orishirishi ọkùnrin, it carries a different meaning entirely.
Ṣe oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò.
Oh, when you use cook orishirishi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò. Now, okay. So she's not saying orishirishi ọkùnrin. She said orishirishi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò. What is orishirishi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò? Say orishirishi ẹran nínú ẹ̀fọ́ rírò.
Orishirishi vegetables now.
Do you cook? Don't make I argue with you. Do you cook multiple efforts in the same effort?
No.
She's trying to say something.
She said different soup.
No, she's trying to say something. She
makes different soup for different men.
No. She did say different soup. She didn't say orishirishi obe. She said orishirishi Efo Riro. How many Efo Riro do we have? There's different types of spinach, I guess.
There's afan, there's a icon, there's the direct vegetable. There's different orishirishi now. Different for you.
No, she's trying to say. She's trying. She did them out. Okay, when she did her mouth like this, that has additional meaning to it too. Look at her. Look at her.
Oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò ẹja tútù.
The air in between. The air when she did oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò. When she did her body, you see her body kind of bounce a little bit, whatever she's sitting on.
You cook soup for the man. Which soups for the man?
It's not about soups. Ice. It's not about soup. It's not. This is not about soup at this point. No, I'm not gonna spoil you. No, we have to go that angle. But this one is not about soup. It's about, I'll tell you what it's about. Let her continue.
máa fi ṣèdè ọkọlọ́kọ tó ń bọ̀ á máa bá.
This is the part that's much more important to her. The okoloko part. That's the most important part in this video. This is what she meant to say. It's not about the soup. It's not about the meat. It's not about the children. Okay? It's not about the UK government. This is the most important. Somebody else's husband is the most important part in this whole thing. If we want collect properly. Make we do am. Make we break them down, right?
ọkọlọ́kọ tó ń bọ̀ á máa bá yín sùn ẹ máa fi ṣe oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀fọ́ rírò ẹja tútù ẹ máa fi ṣèdè ọkọlọ́kọ.
Why can't she say the ọkùnrin? Men. Right? She said, tell us now. No, now go do them. We go analyze this together. Now, this is a question. Why not say the ọkùnrin? Meaning, you use it to cook for men. See, that advice will be plain, simple, authentic. If you say men, but you say okoloko, this advice is pregnant. Right? All right, let's keep going.
tó ń bọ̀ á máa bá yín sùn mọ́lé.
Tombo abayin sumole. Do you understand that part? Ice.
They are the man comes to sleep in their house.
No, see that's that's direct translation. Wabayin sumole, come and sleep with you, have sex with you in your house. That's what that means. Bayin is different from sun. See why I said the translation, it loses translation in.
The men won't even
Loses
date
meaning.
women. The men won't even date women that don't have a comfortable house. If you don't know now. The men abroad won't even date a woman that does not have a comfortable house.
She's not talking about dating. She's talking about coming to her do kerewa with other people's husband. This is our point of contention. Ladies, if you saw this video on Instablog Nigeria and you thought they were just advising you to manage your money, this wasn't about money. This wasn't about money. She's saying stay away from her husband. That's what she's saying. You get it?
Mm.
She said,
You'll be surprised that this man does not even have a husband. So.
oh, she has somebody that she does not like that she's accusing of doing this.
But yeah, I know. Maybe there's somebody she's trying to talk to, and she's not trying to generalize it.
Yes, exactly. This is personal. That's the bottom line. What I'm saying. it may not be directly personal. She may just have something against somebody who she's trying to shame with this behavior, right?
Mm.
But if somebody's going to end up in this comment once I chop up these videos, and then they will be like, I know her. You're right.
Yes. You always know them now. You always know them.
People know these people now. Let's continue. Maybe she will say other things to prove this point.
ilé tí ìjọba tún fún yín pé kẹ́ máa ti tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín yára yín ní brain owó tí ìjọba fún yín pé kẹ́ fi.
Now, no borrow na self brain. That one is direct translation. But if you pay attention to people, this is part of emotional intelligence, by the way. You don't get it, forget about it. That's true. Right? This is part of emotional intelligence. All of us, we're trying to say something, but we kind of wrap it up in all. The one thing we're trying to say is there.
Yeah.
This is why active listening is very, very important.
Yeah.
Everything we say, we wrap it up in our feelings. Our feelings are fake by nature, but they are real because they become the vibe and the energy in the house, right? But at the end of the day, they're not, you can't touch it. They're not tangible. They're not things you can prove, right? But we will wrap all those feelings in words up in this. You have to listen long enough and deep enough to hear what somebody is trying to say. And to
get the message.
To get the message. And this is like a jovial type of fun way to really explain that, right?
Mm.
I'm dead ass. I'm serious. What she's trying to say is stay away from my husband or stay away from other people's husband. That's the whole point she's trying to make. She doesn't care about those children that she just used in that example. She does not care. She cares only about the fact that you're sleeping with other people's husband, and that's all she cares about. And by the way, I could bet my whole monthly livelihood on it that she's actually talking about her husband. Just a bet. I don't know, right? So that's the point that I'm making here, right?
You might
Let's
be
see.
right, though.
You said waiting.
You might be very right, though.
I'll be waiting.
You might be very right.
I could be wrong.
You are right.
I could be wrong too, but you know, time will tell.
ayé kẹ́ fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yín ẹ máa fi ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ rírò ẹ máa fi ṣe ẹja tútù máa di ọkọ lọ́kọ nítorí ọkọ.
Emma Diokoloko, that means you put other people's husband in bondage. What does this have to do with British money? I beg. Somebody help me.
Don't you know that when they chop their life with that food? You may chop their life.
That man go die there. Oh.
Yeah, no, then she dey talk now. She dey beg una now, na dey put it there.
She said, I beg, release my husband. I beg. That's all she's trying to say.
púpọ̀ nù yín ẹ ti gbàgbé nǹkan tó gbé yín wá sílùú òyìnbó tó jẹ́ pé tàtàtàtà kótókótó yẹn lẹ́ ń bá kiri London.
Kata kata to. Please, I beg, tell me what that means.
That's the twa now.
Is it safe if I say that means nonsense, right? All that nonsense, something like that, right?
Yeah.
You understand me? Mo láti sọ Yorùbá kí n fi fún yín ní àwọn ìmọ̀ràn kẹ́ yára yín ní brain. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin single mother.
All right. So the person that did the translation that I read earlier, is terrible translation, and to be fair to them, they couldn't really do that translation without what I just did. You need to be able to see my face. You need to be able to hear my voice. You need to be able to, because of the emotions that what she's trying to say, you need to be able to see her face too. Because again, this is why, let me pull another lesson out of this. Text messages are terrible when you're in a romantic relationship. Don't do it. You should only do it to say, I love you, babe. I'll see you at home. Okay, babe. All right, that makes sense, babe. Oh, correct, right? Things like that. If you're using it to express a full-blown emotional issue, emotionally charged issues, you're going to destroy your marriage and your relationship. It's undefeated, okay? It doesn't matter if you're right, as usual. You could be saying things that they're supposed to know already, but text by nature only carries so much meaning or meanings, right? Because what happens is that people will read it English, whatever, you know, but they will now interpret what they're reading with their own, what's the word I'm looking for? They interpret it based on their own, the way they think. That's the word I'm looking for. But basically, they mix up their livelihood, their childhood, how they interpret matters, their point of contention, what their emotions. They mix it up with everything, then they give it an interpretation, and it's highly likely it's not going to be what you meant.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't feel safe to ask. They don't feel safe, or they're not wise to ask you, what do you mean by this? What they do is they conclude that that's what you meant. They hold resentment. Sometimes that's the worst part. Sometimes they ask you as a fight, which means they are offending you too. Now it becomes, so don't use text ever to exchange conversations that are emotionally charged between you and your lover. You will destroy what you have, man or woman. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you, as long as if you consider it emotionally charged, it needs to wait until you speak to that person. At least speak to that person. They can hear your emotions. Preferably when you see each other face to face, so that you can exchange the energy as opposed to just the words. You know, people can say like, "Huh?" They can see your face that you're already reacting a certain way. They can pause. They can slow, as opposed to just write text because you just need to get it off your chest. Hey, sometimes you've ended your marriage years before it actually happens, and you don't realize it was that one text message. Very, very important. So text by nature are just terrible translators of emotions, you know. But this madam here, I think our message is clear for those that have 80 to hear. Stay away from her husband. She's made her point clear. Do you agree with me? She doesn't care about the British money like that.
Yes, no, she doesn't really care about that.
Let's move on to the next story. I think this may be the last story. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's get to it.